Hey everyone, and Merry Christmas. Today is December 25th, 2025, and we're going to be doing a full walking tour of Midtown Manhattan on Christmas Day. That was almost an accident right here. In any event, New York City is set to get absolutely slammed with a snowstorm that is going to start tomorrow at 7 p.m. and last all the way until the following day, Saturday, at 2 p.m. The entire accumulation of snow is set to be anywhere between 6 to 10 inches for Midtown Manhattan. So without further ado, let's go ahead and explore the city on Christmas Day and look at the preparations for the snowstorm. Now, I'll apologize in advance because it is extremely windy and I do not have the wind card. But this is the brand new location of Mishway. Now, if you don't know what Mishway is, this chain globally has more locations than McDonald's. It is the largest fast casual brand in the world, and now they have 2 locations in Manhattan. This is their first 2 locations in the city, one of which is right here on 32nd Street and Broadway, and the second one is on 8th Avenue. And they sell ice creams for like $1. They sell boba teas for under $4. And I believe that this place is really, really going to be successful here. Just look at how packed it is. This is the main mascot. It's like a snowman guy. And then on the line over here, they're giving out free stuff for Christmas. We'll head all the way to Penn Station and then we'll go by Macy's, Herald Square. So on this side you have the mobile order and pickup. And on the other side is the line to go in. It is absolutely packed. Now I want to zoom in on this connector bridge here because this is actually really historically significant to New York City. This is called the Gimbel's Sky Bridge. And Gimbel's used to be a department store that at one point in time used to compete with Macy's. Now, during their price competition, Macy's would lower their prices so much that Gimbel's went out of business. (32nd Street) is considered New York City's Koreatown, particularly between Broadway and 5th Avenue. Looking up, you can see a beautiful view of the Empire State Building. It's really a picture-perfect Christmas day in Manhattan. It's been sunshine, right around 35 degrees. However, the temperature is going to drop rapidly, and at 7 o'clock on the 26th, it is going to snow extremely hard.
This way, guys.
Right on the corner of 33rd Street, they have a carousel. This is the Christmas carousel, right at Greeley Square. once we get to 34th Street, you're really going to start to notice the wind picking up.
Hotel's back now.
But it's interesting, keep an eye on a lot of those Chinese brands. We've been talking about Luckin Coffee, as well as Mishway. And Luckin Coffee now has over 15 locations throughout Manhattan. And it is a cashless establishment. So there's only mobile ordering for your payment. There's not even any cash registers in the joint. And they do this to improve the customer experience for people who want to sit down on the inside. Also, it streamlines the process of the pickup, because if you ever ordered something on the Starbucks mobile app for pickup, oftentimes when you get there to pick it up, somebody stole the drink, especially in New York City, something like that. But in order to pick up your drink that you ordered mobily at Luckin Coffee, well, you have to scan your QR code on your phone, and then it unlocks the drink for you, and then you go and pick it up. Okay, here we have Macy's. This is one of the most touristed areas during Christmas. And I really love the Christmas decorations that coat the facade of the building. You have these classic Christmas wreaths with the white lights and the red bows. And we'll go ahead and have a look at the Macy's Christmas windows. But today, on Christmas Day, the Macy's Holiday Square is closed. But I hope everybody at home, all the viewers, are having a really good holiday. Wishing all of you a very Merry Christmas. So here we have it, right at Herald Square. This is where you can get a glimpse of the Macy's Christmas windows. We'll wait until the book comes back down. They did such a good job this year. As we continue to walk down and look at the windows, you'll see a section where they have a karaoke section where you can sing Christmas carols. The facade of Macy's is really decorated beautifully. Here you can see Santa Claus coming. However, I would say the most impressive is this one. This is like a storybook of Macy's, and it changes. Isn't that really nice?
You gotta put one of those monkey backpacks in.
And of course, up at the top, you have Santa Claus. This is a replica of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. This one's very unique as well. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade this year was fantastic, by the way. This was my first year attending the parade in person. And I'd say to the audience out there, if you're thinking about coming to New York City for the holidays, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth going to the parade in person. Now, for all of those viewers at home watching Christmas movies this year, you've probably watched the movie Miracle on 34th Street, which is a real classic. And this Macy's window is dedicated to that movie, the Miracle on 34th Street. Beautiful, isn't it? It's very difficult to outdo Macy's, I'd say. The only place that might have outdone Macy's is the Lotte Tower, which is the New York Palace. So this one is a karaoke setup, so you could come here, come on camera, and sing into the microphone. Those kids are not bad. They're pretty good. Nice, good job. Such a good idea, right? All right, we'll go 2 more blocks up on Broadway, and then we'll cut over to 6th Avenue. Again, look at how clear it is out today. So we're now exiting Herald Square. And we're going to come up on 36th Street. If we were to continue to just walk up Broadway, this will lead us right into Times Square. And as you notice, all of the holiday markets on the right, they're closed today. A lot of stuff is closed on Christmas Day in New York City. And you know something? Some of the busiest areas in New York City today, it's actually Chinatown. Chinatown in Lower Manhattan is always very, very busy on Christmas, as there's a lot of restaurants open, and there's also a tradition, a lot of the Jewish New Yorkers, because in New York City has one of the largest Jewish populations, not only in the United States, but in the world. And it's been kind of a tradition that they go and frequent the Chinese establishments during Christmas. I want to see if I can get us close to the St. Patrick's Cathedral today. If you were watching our broadcast yesterday, we filmed the entire setup for the midnight mass. And they did a beautiful job this year setting up the cathedral for the mass. Fun fact for you all, there's so many people that want to attend the midnight mass at St. Patrick's that they have to open up a lottery system. And it's reported that over 10,000 people per year sign up to the lottery to go after about 2,000 tickets. Now, there's only about 2,300 seats inside St. Patrick's Cathedral, but they do make standing room, and in attendance last night at St. Patrick's Cathedral, it was reported that there was over 2,600 individuals who attended the Mass. This was also the last year that Timothy Cardinal Dolan is the Archbishop of New York. And of course, the mayor of New York City, Mayor Eric Adams, was in attendance for the Mass as well. This is now 37th Street and Broadway. You can hear some of the church bells going off. We're about to walk right in front of Luckin Coffee. This is a relatively new location, or I should say a newer location. It seems as if a lot of Chinese brands are making a big push into the United States, particularly New York. As I've said many times, but for those new viewers here, Luckin Coffee used to be traded on the NASDAQ under the ticker symbol LK, but they were delisted on the NASDAQ because there was some accounting fraud, and now they trade OTC, or over the counter. The one thing that I didn't get to do this year for Christmas, which I try to do every year, and I just never get around to it, is seeing the Christmas lights at Dyker Heights, Brooklyn. So if you're visiting New York City for the holidays, make a special trip out to Brooklyn, New York, to see all of the houses beautifully decorated for Christmas. I believe the easiest way to get there from 34th Street is to take the R train. Oh, this Salsui, this is a famous bakery. The interesting thing about this bakery, though, is that all of the items look like fruit. It's like very, very popular right now. It's very famous. So you walk in there and you can get a pear, but it's made out of white chocolate and there's like a cake filling. So all of the, popular desserts look like fruits, but they're actually cakes. Pretty cool. This is now 39th Street and Broadway. If we were to go up one more block, we'll hit the famous Joe's Pizza. So we might as well check on the line, or even see if Joe's is open today. They might not be open. Who knows? And then we'll have to check out the Bryant Park Christmas Winter Village. And of course, Bryant Park is on 42nd Street and 6th Avenue. That connects to the New York Public Library. Pretty soon it's going to be New Year's Eve. In about 2 days, we're going to be doing our annual video at night, right around 1 o'clock in the morning. We're going to be filming the entire setup as they build the stages for the musical performers, as they set up all of the television cameras to film the New Year's Rocking Eve. That's one of my favorite videos to film each year. About 48 hours before New Year's Eve, construction crews and workers and media people really work in light speed to set up and transform Times Square into what you see when you're watching it live. We're now at 40th Street and Broadway, and look at the line for the Joe's Pizza. Crazy, it wraps pretty much all the way around the block. I was not expecting Joe's to be open today. Check out this line, everyone. I guess it's never a bad day to have pizza. The Christmas pizza pie. Look at all these Joe's boxes. If you're watching this broadcast from Miami, Florida, Joe's just opened up. Well, not just opened up, it's been about over a year now. They opened up a Joe's location in Wynwood, Miami. So when I'm down in Miami, I always frequent, get a slice of Joe's. It's a pretty impressive line. But for now, we're going to get back on 40th Street. And we are going to head to Bryant Park. Every Christmas, I always like to see the ice skaters up by Bryant Park. This is looking directly into Times Square. This is going to take us right to 6th Avenue. And on the corner, you're going to have the Bank of China. I'm a big fan of the architecture on the Bank of China. It's unique. Almost looks like an alien spaceship. You'll see it in just a moment. And there's also a good coffee shop connected to the office called La Colombe, which is really known for more like their draft coffee. There is some good news, though, as it relates to Bryant Park. The Radiator Building, which is one of my favorite buildings architecturally speaking in New York City, the scaffolding on the crown of the building has finally come down. So if you're a big architecture junkie and you're visiting Bryant Park, make sure you stand on the northernmost side of the park and have a look at the spire, if you will, of the Radiator Building. This is also known as Nikola Tesla Way. And I love looking at the skyline. Looking east, you could see 1 Vanderbilt, you could see the brand new 525th Avenue. I'll give you guys an interesting piece of New York Public Library and Bryant Park history that most people don't know. Chances are, if you've been to Bryant Park, you were walking on the Great Lawn, or you have gone ice skating at the Bank of America ice skating rink. And the next time you go there, just know that every time you stand on that lawn or ice skate on that rink, there's over 2 million books and articles sitting right beneath you in a secret underground bunker. And the New York Public Library built this, a secret underground bunker under Bryant Park. And it's only accessible through something called a book train. If you go to the New York Public Library's website, you can watch a video on it, and you can see exactly how they get those research texts and the books from under that underground bunker. It's a very, very cool book train system that they have. In any event, here we are now at the entrance of the Bryant Park Winter Village. And here you're looking at the Radiator Building. It's probably going to be so crowded in here we'll barely be able to move. And here we are. This is the Winter Village at Bryant Park. And the rink is free admission if you bring your own ice skates, and it's open from October 24th until March 1st. It doesn't seem New Yorkers are too fazed about this snowstorm. Look at how gorgeous that skyline looks right behind the Stephen Schwarzman building. The flagship New York Public Library is named after private equity giant Stephen Schwarzman. Stephen Schwarzman is the CEO and founder of Blackstone. Many people confuse the two firms. They confuse Blackstone and BlackRock. Just when you think of Blackstone, you think of Stephen Schwarzman, and when you think of BlackRock, you should think of Larry Fink. But check this out. There's that Radiator Building. Look at how gorgeous it looks with that gold outer trim on the top. And this is the Bryant Park fountain. Whenever it gets extremely cold in New York, you'll see the Bryant Park fountain freeze over.
Oh my god, oh my god. I took her to Atlantic City. Right?
I just want to get one quick peek at the rink. And then we'll head out. That building is One Vanderbilt. You have the Summit observation deck. And then this building right here is brand new. This is a luxury condominium, 520 Park Avenue, which resembles, architecturally speaking, 130 William, which is in Lower Manhattan. And of course, right here, you can see the spire of the Chrysler building. So literally right where we're standing, under us, is the underground bunker where there's over 2 million texts and books that are accessible from this building right here by a book train. Let's try to head out. It's almost like you can't even move back there. Oh wow, this is a great shot. Look at that. You have the Radiator Building and Empire in one shot. You know, looking at the Empire State Building, it's really awe-inspiring because they built it during the depths of the Great Depression. In the summer, they have a really nice outdoor library. In the summer, Bryant Park is one of my favorite locations in the city. We'll try to make a left and head up 6th Avenue. If we were to make a right, we would pass right by the SUNY College of Optometry on our way to 5th Avenue. But I have a feeling it might be a little bit easier to get through the crowds on 6th Avenue today. We'll see. Now this is looking directly into Times Square, and the building with that little spire, that's actually where they dropped the ball for New Year's. It is One Times Square. The building just underwent a complete renovation. And now it's an observation deck. So if you're curious about what it's like when the ball drops, you could pay, I think, like $30 and go up to the top yourself and see what it looks like when they drop the ball on New Year's Eve. And I have another prediction. I think this year for New Year's Rockin' Eve is going to be the largest crowd in history in Midtown Manhattan. And I think the crowds are going to start even earlier. This is looking up towards Billionaires Row, that little tiny pencil-thin building you see sticking out. That's 111 West 57th Street, or the Steinway Tower. That's the skinniest residential apartment building in the world. And they currently have the quadplex on the market for, I think, $100 million. $100 million bucks, I think. If you're curious about what it's like to be up in one of those Billionaires Row buildings, you could check out some of the other videos on our channel where I toured the duplex that's on the market for $150 million. And it is a very impressive unit. What you're looking at right now, everybody, is the spire of 270 Park Avenue. This is one of the newest and most state-of-the-art Class A office towers in New York City. And it was built by JP Morgan Chase with a total build cost of around $3 billion. It's a beautiful building. There's multiple restaurants in there, multiple gyms. And speaking of big banks, the building you're looking at with all the nice Christmas lights inside, this is Bank of America Tower. The 28th is the last day that the 2026 numerals will be on display in Times Square. So you still have time to take a look at them before they hoist them all the way up on top of One Times Square. So you can take photos with the 2026 numerals. Additionally, one of the coolest features that Times Square is doing this year, you can go right now and wait online and write your name or write your wish on a piece of confetti. And that piece of confetti will be tossed off the top of the buildings right when the clock strikes 12 on New Year's Eve. So if you want, it's completely free. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're looking for something to do over this Christmas weekend, go to Times Square. The line moves pretty quickly, maybe 20-30 minutes, and you could write your name or your wish on a piece of Times Square confetti. And maybe, you know, when we're filming the New Year's Eve, I'll read one of your wishes off. Wow, it's really packed. We're approaching the New York City's Diamond District. This is the corner of 44th Street and 6th. Diamond District is on 47th Street.
I'm not setting her up for pee. Oh, hey, I want to go to my birthday. I want to go to my birthday party. Actually, no.
Let's try to move around as best we can. I feel as if there's more traffic now than there has been in years past. Perhaps it's just that we've had a little bit of a reprieve since the pandemic, and now we're completely back to normal, if you will. So the first Christmas display that we're going to see on 6th Avenue is going to be the News Corporation, or the Fox News Christmas tree that sits right here at Fox Plaza, which is really, really nice. And this is 1166 Avenue of the Americas. And we definitely avoid driving in the city this weekend. Last night they closed down 5th Avenue right in front of St. Patrick's for security precautions. Let's cross this way. Now, as we approach Rockefeller Center, I don't think we're going to be able to move in the crowds here. Let's see. Now we're approaching 47th Street. This is officially New York City's Diamond District. And this is the brand new Carnegie Diner. Here you can see that main holiday sign from the Diamond District. It says Happy Holidays, the Diamond District. And there is 270 Park Avenue. Just such a great looking building. It's funny, the CEO of JP Morgan Chase is Jamie Dimon. And you can kind of see the diamond insignia on the side of the building. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but perhaps just a coincidence. The crowds are really starting to pick up now. And we are officially outside of the News Corporation building, or Fox News. So News Corporation has many different businesses under its umbrella. You have Fox News, you have the Wall Street Journal, you have Barron's, and now you also have Investors Business Daily, which was its most recent acquisition. They bought it from William J. O'Neill for about $250 million. We'll get a little bit closer look at the Christmas tree here. This is 1211 Avenue of the Americas. This is the All-American Christmas at Fox Square. And here at the top of the Christmas tree, they have a beautiful dove. Let me know what you guys think. Now, right behind us, this is the main Fox News studio here. This is where they film many of the shows, such as The Five. We'll take one more look at the Christmas tree, and then we'll continue to head northbound as we push ever closer towards Rockefeller Center. As I always say, I really, really recommend that you take a look and go to the top of the rock. Mainly because they have this really educational history of Rockefeller Center. So before you go up, they make you watch roughly a 6-minute video that gives you a pretty good breakdown on just how John D. Rockefeller Jr. assembled all of the space to build Rockefeller Center and what the original intended purposes were for Rockefeller Center. Of course, families such as the Rockefellers, the Vanderbilts, and the Morgans were responsible for really building New York to what it is today. We're now on the corner of 48th Street. Oh, this is so cool. So since the sun is setting now, the spire of 270 Park Avenue is coming on for Christmas. And you can see those snowflakes falling there with the red and green backgrounds, the Christmas ornaments. This is the first year that 270 Park Avenue is like that. Mainly because this is the first year that the building was built. Okay, moving on, team. This right here is one of my favorite restaurants in the city. Not because it's the best food, but because it is the best environment. This is Del Frisco's New York City, and the dining room is stunning. You have 2 levels. I usually sit upstairs, but that's just me. And the reason why I sit upstairs is because you have this bird's eye view overlooking Radio City Music Hall and the Radio City Music Hall Christmas tree. And it's such a festive experience when you're having a nice steak dinner, looking over all the festivities, Rockefeller Center. And it looks pretty busy in there this year. So take my advice. If you're going to go to Del Frisco's, request to be seated on the upper level because that is your view. You can see above this tree line right to Radio City. Just looking at what everybody's eating, it's making me hungry. And we're now officially approaching Rockefeller Center. And since we have some new people here, I want to just point out this building right here. So, of course, all of these buildings that you see here, particularly the tall one, that is 30 Rockefeller Center, is part of the Rockefeller Center development, except this building right here. And it's easy to miss it. You guys see this building? This is one of two holdout buildings. And long story short, the owners of those buildings were trying to extort John D. Rockefeller Jr. for an enormous amount of money because they knew that John D. Rockefeller Jr. was going to build Rockefeller Center. So they were asking for $250,000 at the time in order to sell the building so they could expand Rockefeller Center. Well, obviously, John D. Rockefeller Jr. shot down that idea, and he just built around it. So now you have this random building that's going to be there forever because you can't build anything else. And it's a Magnolia Bakery now. These are now the famous red Christmas bulbs. That's a nice photo. From here you could see a very, very cool building. This building is really unique. This is a building that's considered to be part of the Billionaires Row buildings, even though it's not on 57th Street. It's on 53rd Street. It's called 53 West 53rd, and it is a Jean Duval building, and it has 3 different shades on the facade that you could see at different times of the day as the sun is either rising or setting. Wow, look at this, everybody. Look at the crowd. It's probably as busy as I've ever seen it. That's wild. Everyone's trying to check out the Christmas tree at Rockefeller Center. We'll go back around the other way.
Yes, hello.
Can't come down, so I have to walk up more.
This is right on the corner of 50th Street now. Perhaps next year it should be a good idea for the NYPD just to close 6th Avenue. I doubt we'll be able to get over towards the Christmas tree. This is always my favorite shot every year. Okay, everybody, let's try to head over towards St. Patrick's. This is 51st Street, headed northbound on 6th Avenue. I think in order to get over, we'll probably have to go perhaps up 2 more blocks. So not 52nd, but perhaps 53rd Street will be a little bit easier. These are the toy soldiers outside of UBS. They have this every year. Okay, we have the light. We're now going to start heading over towards 5th Avenue. And there's going to be a good coffee house called the Watch House. It's one of my favorite coffee shops in the city. But before we do that, I just want to show everybody the great view we have of the Steinway Tower. I mean, look at how unique that building looks. This is the skinniest residential apartment building in the entire world. And it sure looks it. This is the Charles Schwab offices to the left. This will bring us right out to the Cartier store. You also have MoMA. See, on the side streets, it's rather quiet. Where it's busy is the avenues, like 6th Avenue, 5th Avenue is where it's really busy. Even Broadway, where you saw outside of Macy's. Curious to see how busy it's going to be on 5th. Doesn't look too bad so far. This is the Watch House right next to this Citibank and across the street from the American Girl store. But it looks to be, yeah, it is closed on Christmas Day. That's to be expected. But there has been a lot of stores that have seemed to be open for Christmas Day, which is a little bit out of character. I think they realize just how many people are in the city for the holidays, so they want to be able to maximize business, I guess. And here you have it. This is the Cartier store. Again, my favorite by far of the holiday displays. Right next to the Cartier store is the old Versace flagship. This is now 52nd Street. We'll head down to see St. Patrick's Cathedral. Appears they still have a lot of stuff blocked off from the midnight mass yesterday. Wow, look at how busy St. Patrick's is, as there's still masses going on. And this is looking northbound on 5th Avenue, and you can see the snowflake that sits right in the middle of 5th. Hopefully next year they'll just close down 5th Avenue on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and just make it like open streets. They've already done that once before this year. And here we have a very, very big line for Christmas Mass. Beautiful cathedral. Oh, wow. I think we'll go ahead and end it here, everybody. I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. If you enjoyed the Christmas walk, subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, and as always, we will see you in the next one, and thank you so much for watching. Take care.